We would like to thank our sponsors, Getaway Today. Use Getaway Today for all of your vacation planning needs. You'll get exclusive perks, great discounts, and the best customer service. Most importantly, their services are always free and easy, from experienced and passionate agents who love to make your vacation dreams come true. Head on over to getawaytoday.com from the link in our show notes to see their exclusive deals, and you can call 855-GETAWAY and let them know Walt's Apartment sent you to start planning your next vacation today.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation.
Spark a dream that we're meant to follow.
You're listening to the Extra Magic Hour, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider. Join the team in the studio as they bring you the spirit of Disney through park news, history, and tips and tricks to make your Disney Parks vacation even more magical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Extra Magic Hour. We are a Disney Parks podcast brought to you by Walt's Apartment and the DisInsider.com. What do you get when you bring together a group of like-minded Disney Parks fans from all over the country? You get the Extra Magic Hour. Now, hang on to them hats and glasses. Here's the best Disney Parks podcast in the wilderness. And welcome to the Extra Magic Hour. How is everyone doing tonight? Sam, how are you doing tonight, my friend? The podcast princess herself here right now.
I am. I'm good.
You're good.
You always make me laugh, so I'm glad to be here.
Well, the listeners didn't hear the 4 outtakes we did before this of me trying to do the intro. So that's all good.
I'm still crying.
We are so happy again to be blessed with the presence of Mr. Chris Ilardi from Disney Done Differently and EarB&B podcast. How you doing tonight, Chris?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me. It's great to see you guys again, or hear you guys. I forget that it's audio.
Blessed, cursed.
Well, we can still see. We can see each other right now. So because when we record this, we can actually see each other.
But excited to be here. A lot of Disney news this week.
A lot of parks news, and that's why I need to get some help this week because I don't know a lot about Walt Disney World. So I know you.
How dare you?
I'm working on it though, and I'm hoping to learn more tonight. I'm hoping to learn about Beverly, which I hear is amazing.
It's YouTube. Delicious. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's an amazing drink.
It's an amazing drink, huh?
We'll tell you all about it later.
I feel like you're both lying to me, and we're going to dive into that in a little bit. But Breanna will be along here in a little bit. She is stuck in traffic, but she will be touching base with us.
Speaking of
Breanna, she is here right now. Hello, Breanna.
Hello.
How's it going tonight? Good. How are you?
Good.
We just started.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, you missed my 4 outtakes for the actual opening of the show. So, welcome. I hope everyone. How's your day going today?
It was good. I drove a lot.
Is that good or bad?
It was good. Well, I didn't plan accordingly, and I thought the place that I was going to was only 2 hours away, and it ended up being over 3 hours away.
Oh, geez.
So, and I decided I still wanted to go because I had already planned it, and so that's why I'm a little late.
No problem. We're glad to have you. We have a lot of parks news to cover. I want to dive into our shows real quick. Make sure you check out the Walt's Apartment live stream every Wednesday night on Facebook. We have the Disney Beat hosted by Shawn Nyberg, who is not with us tonight. He is still on his Walt Disney World hangover. So he's hoping to be back with us next week on the live stream, and also Extra Magic Hour in 2 weeks where he's going to go through his trip with us. Check out his show every Monday. He covers all the news from the DisInsider.com and just starts off your week with some great Disney news. Force Friday is Amber and Jade do a Star Wars themed podcast when they can. I know that they're going to be doing more here in the future. We have some stuff starting, Bad Batch starting, and some other stuff. So they'll be doing some stuff starting back up in May. Marvel Tribe, which all four of us were a part of last Sunday. So, Chris, thank you for joining. Breanna, thank you for joining us on there. Chris is part of the show now, so I apologize for that. Chris is a full-time.
We claimed you.
That's right. He's a full-time Marvel Tribe guy now. So, 2 more episodes of Falcon Winter Soldier left. Then we need to decide what we're going to talk about in the Marvel Tribe for a month before Loki comes out. DisIology podcast. Sam, what was the topic again last week for DisIology?
How Walt Disney invented the quote nature documentary unquote.
Right. I've listened to half of it at work. I've gotten sidetracked like 10 times. I heard about Nanook of the North. I thought that was wasn't a real thing, but I guess that is a real thing. So that's good to know. What's your topic for next week?
We are coming up between 2 topics, so we haven't decided yet. We've got 2 that we're working on.
And that comes out on Tuesdays, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So one Tuesday will be an episode release, and the following Tuesday is a live show.
So next week's your live show, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
Yes. Next week is our live show.
Perfect. So that would be on the, I believe, 20th of April.
Sure.
Yes. On 4/20. You can check out the live stream on DisIology. So enjoy that. This weekend, Sam and I are so excited. Well, I don't know how excited Sam is. I'm very excited because I'm
excited.
Okay, good. Because we're interviewing Gina Rock. She is the longest flying Tinkerbell to fly from the Matterhorn. She did it from 1983 to 2005. And I know me and Breanna have been to Disneyland and seen Tinkerbell flying behind the castle back and forth. I've read some interviews from Gina Rock and heard some of her stuff. And I want to ask her a few questions because she says that the way she lands doing the Tinkerbell wasn't the best. I guess she just dropped on some mattresses to the point to where other Disney cast members would run to her and make sure she was okay every night she did it. So I'm looking forward to talking to her, and it's going to be really exciting. So yeah, that's it. Chris, tell us about Disney Done Differently and the EarB&B podcast.
Well, every Wednesday on YouTube, Disney Done Differently, just taking my passion for food from my professional career and mixing it with my passion for Disney. Every Wednesday on YouTube, that comes out. EarB&B Disney podcast, food correspondent. I've been sharing some videos, some quick tips on their channel and having just fun with it. And, I was going to be Tinkerbell, but I was a half a pound over the weight limit.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's why, just a half a pound.
Well,
but water weight.
It's all good. I mean, but I do love your videos. You did a Monte Cristo video, which I love the Monte Cristo. You've made drinks for both Sam and Breanna on one of your videos. So we all appreciate you very much. If you do not follow Disney Done Differently, please do on YouTube and Facebook. But we're gonna get into the news. There's lots of park news to talk about this week. Sam was gonna do an Imagineer focus on Marty Sklar, right?
Marty Sklar, yeah.
Marty Sklar. And Breanna, you got some tips for us this week for travel tips?
Yeah, this week we will kind of piggyback off what we did last week with what you'd bring in your park bag, but this week we're going to go over what you would bring for your children at the park.
Okay, perfect. And then we're going to finish off with we're going to talk about shopping at Walt Disney World because you all three have been there. So we're going to talk about what your favorite places to shop in each park. I have nothing to contribute to that, so I will just be asking you guys questions. But we will get into news. Most of the news is found on the DisInsider.com. Shawn and myself both do a lot of the writing for the DisInsider.com. There's some stuff on here that's not from them, but check us out, DisInsider.com. We're trying to build up the parks page there some more and get some more good parks content out there. So first news story that I'm not sure if it's a news story because I've never been to Walt Disney World except when I was 16 years old. Club Cool is reopening this summer. So, Chris, what is Club Cool?
So, Club Cool used to be it's not there right now, but it used to be just soda, not pop. Soda.
Pop.
It's pop.
Soda from around the world.
It's
It's pop.
So, it was soda from around the world.
Wait, I'm going to stop you for a second.
Okay.
So you're in Florida.
Yeah.
Right? Sam, you're in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Breanna, you're from all over the world, all over the country. You've been. Where are you originally from?
Originally from Ohio.
Okay, so
it's a Midwest thing.
Okay,
It
I'm from California. It's soda. He's from New York. So is it called pop? Is it called soda in New York as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
definitely
it is soda. So I've heard it called pop, but
I mean, technically, I think the full is soda pop. So
we're both right.
We have taken the two and just split it, and we fight over which one's right.
Soda Pop was a character in The Outsiders. Soda Pop, Curtis.
You guys know what Outsiders is?
No.
Brianna,
What did he wear on his shirt? What do you have on his shirt?
Brianna, you never seen The Outsiders?
I don't think so. No.
Is it? Well, I thought it was a book. It was a book.
Okay,
right?
I grew up without cable, so.
Wow.
If you could look on our screen here where we record, you got the two old guys on the right side and the two young ladies on the left too.
So if I said do it for Johnny, you guys have no clue.
No.
Neither one of you?
Stay Golden, Pony Boy.
Yeah, it's Pony Boy. I read the book.
Okay.
Read the book. I didn't watch. I didn't know it was like on TV or anything.
There's a couple of the actors in that movie that they have a good future.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna say I just looked it up. It was in 1983. I wasn't even born.
I wasn't either.
Yeah, well,
I was 10.
I wasn't around for the original showing of the Ten Commandments, but I've seen that.
I haven't seen that either.
I don't know what.
Wait, so ladies, neither one of you has seen The Outsiders?
I've read it.
Okay, you've read the book, but you've never seen the movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I mean, they might have showed it to me in school, like after. I feel like I saw it in school, like after we read the book.
I was like, the book is starting to sound.
Ralph Macchio, Patrick Swayze, right, Chris?
Yeah,
Patrick
I feel
Swayze, Ralph Macchio, C. Thomas Howell.
My God.
Rob Lowe.
I feel like I saw.
Okay.
Wasn't he The Bachelor?
Emilio Estevez.
Did you say was he The Bachelor?
Rob Lowe was a bachelor, wasn't he? Brianna, am I wrong?
Wait, Rob Lowe? I don't know. Hold on. Are these the guys that eat the chocolate cake for breakfast?
Cherry Valley. Socias, Greases.
Because Greasers sound familiar now. I feel like I've also read this book.
Do you guys see Parks and Rec?
No.
Oh, it was Shawn Lowe. It was the bachelor.
Do you guys watch like 911 Texas Lone Star?
No.
What?
Oh, you don't know who Rob Lowe is, really?
No.
Okay, but I have determined that I did watch The Outsiders in 8th grade.
Yeah.
In school. After I read the book.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, are these the ones that ate chocolate cake for breakfast? Because our teacher brought in chocolate cake and chocolate milk for us to eat. No.
Chocolate cake reminds me of Matilda.
Is this the wrong movie?
No, he's eating chocolate cake, sitting on the floor of the living room, wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt. It's okay. It's all right.
I was like, 8th grade, so I was 13 when I watched this last. It's on Tubi for free. Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
Don't bother. From what I do remember, the film quality was awful.
Shawn, now I understand why you asked me to be on the show.
I guarantee you Shawn Nyberg has seen this.
Well, half of America has.
I'd say more than half.
We have now determined that we've both read the book and
we've seen it, but it obviously wasn't that memorable.
Yeah.
We spent 4 minutes on this.
Sorry.
Okay, so Club Cool. Go ahead.
Club Cool. It's soda from around the world.
Pop.
And what it was famous for, they actually had a challenge at one point that you could sign up for, and you had to drink all of the actual sodas available. So just picture a regular soda fountain.
It's like when you go to Coke World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The drinks the Cokes from around the world.
Yeah. And Beverly was the ultimate favorite for everybody.
Absolutely.
And
everybody loved it.
Breanna, break the tie because they're telling me Beverly's good.
Oh, it's amazing.
Are you all lying to me right now?
So Beverly is an acquired taste. It is Italian chicory soda, not Italian chicory pop, but it is very bitter, more bitter than tonic. And a lot of people like to have fun by giving it to their little children in the middle of the Disney vacation. And I will say it is the stickiest floor in all of Walt Disney World.
Yes.
So a couple of weeks ago, me, Bill, Barry, Chris, Sam have a group chat that we talk in, and they sent like this video of this guy. Was he the guy that was in Club Cool? That Sunny whatever?
Yes.
Sunny Eclipse. Sunny Eclipse.
No. Sunny Eclipse.
No. He's at Cosmic Ray Starlight.
Don't laugh at me. I have no idea of anything in Walt Disney World. I have no idea.
It's fine. It's like it would be like you doing a review of The Outsiders, not knowing.
Chocolate cake. That's all I've got.
He's just writing notes over here about chocolate cake. Okay, so guys, thoughts on Club Cool coming back? Sam, what do you think? Are you excited? Can you not wait to drink some of your favorite drink, Beverly?
No, I really don't care.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, Club Cool. I like Club Cool. I mean, I like that it's in the park, but I didn't necessarily miss that it wasn't there in my last trip. And I mean, I don't drink Beverly anyway, so I don't care.
Breanna?
I don't have like a favorite drink.
Okay. I mean, yeah, kind of neutral. I will go back into Club Cool when it's there, but I don't think I would have necessarily been completely upset if it never came back. But yeah. And I like people watching, and when the friend goes, you've got to try the Beverly, it's so good, and then they drink it and like spit it out. But I like the melon soda. It's good. So
Yes.
Melon?
Yes.
Yeah.
You just called it soda.
I did call it soda just for you guys. I had to pause for a second to
Traitor.
I know.
Oh.
Traitor, you're not welcome back in the Midwest.
That's fine.
Beverly actually reminds me of a trip. I refused to go on Mission Space, and I told my wife that I would drink as much Beverly as she demanded, so I did not have to go on Mission Space.
You're gonna puke either way.
You get sick.
I'm so intrigued by this now.
Yeah.
So, I can't wait to someday maybe try Beverly, which that sounds weird to say, but okay. Okay, so also announced last week, the Walt Disney World has started to allow maskless social distanced photos. If you are, it's been obviously since the pandemic, you've had to have your masks on for all your photos. And now just last week, they've decided to release that you can take a properly social distanced maskless photo if you're standing still. I know this is kind of controversial, but there's both sides of this. Chris, what are your thoughts on the idea of being able to take maskless photos now?
I mean, we've been so used to the masks since, the inception of it. I've been to the parks many times since, they reopened. I've taken some pictures with my family that I do say, after I get the photo pass, I'm like, oh, this would have been a great picture if we didn't have the mask. Right. But at the same time, I think you can look back and remember the time that it was. And, and as long as everyone is doing what they're supposed to do, take the mask down, be stationary, take the picture, move on from there. I'm okay with that.
Perfect. Sam, Breanna, any thoughts?
I agree with Chris. I was going to say, like, Disney has been pretty great about enforcing their mask rules. So I feel like they will be continuously, reinforcing it, and I think the cast members are gonna make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be.
I've heard the cast members have been just amazing with how they're handling the masks and making sure that you keep them up and you can't be walking or whatever. So
they're Disney cast members. They're just amazing.
They are
all
amazing,
around
absolutely.
anyways. But I do think that it's a step in the right direction for some sense of normal. I miss seeing smiles.
Mm-hmm.
But like Chris said, if we're stationary, if you're not walking around the park in somebody else's space,
right,
and you're just pulling it down to smile, because what if that's like your only trip to
exactly.
Disney? You've waited for 10 years to take your kids to Disney, and you finally have enough, and you can't even see the smile on their face. That makes me sad. So,
yeah. Breanna, how about you? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. As long as that the rules are being followed and people are being cautious, I'm completely okay with it. I do think that it could potentially be a slippery slope and people trying to use it as an excuse. But like we have said, cast members are great about enforcing their rules. So I just hope that people follow these rules, make sure that you are social distance when you are pulling your mask down, and don't use this as an excuse to just start pulling your mask down everywhere in line and stuff like that. So as long as people are being respectful, I'm good with it.
Absolutely. I'm curious if when Disneyland opens, if they will follow suit. I don't think they will at first, but I don't think so. I don't think so, but it'll be interesting to see. So we're going to dive into some Disneyland stuff in a little bit. Next story on here is last week, I think it was Thursday or Friday, it was reported that Trader Sam has been removed from the Jungle Cruise at Walt Disney World. So we knew this was coming. We knew that they were doing the makeover for the Jungle Cruise, going towards the Society of, what's it called? Societies of Explorers.
Society of Explorers and Adventurers.
That's right. They're switching more to that storyline, which I think is going to be cool. I love the Jungle Cruise. I'm all about keeping stuff as it should be, but I get the idea of changing this. You know, the reasoning why they're taking some of this stuff out. I did also see today that was reported that the hippopotamus pole is actually gone now too, where the people that are on the pole is actually gone as well now. So at Walt Disney World, they're leaving the ride open while they do the refurb. I know at Disneyland, when it reopens, it won't be running. They won't be open. But thoughts on the changes to Jungle Cruise? Do you agree with the changes that they're doing? Breanna, go first.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the changes. I'm glad these are being made. And I think that what they are doing is still going to keep the integrity of the ride. I mean, the ride's, again, all about these jokes and a funny skipper and just having a good time. I was kind of sad at some of the reactions. I feel like when we first got the announcement about the Jungle Cruise, I even talked about how I felt like everybody was being very civil and like okay with the switches. And then as soon as this one first happened, there was a lot of negative pushback, but hopefully people will, just understand why this is being done, that this is a good thing, that we're still having the Jungle Cruise like this. We're still having this ride. And it's still going to be the Jungle Cruise. So I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm ready to see what they're going to put in.
Absolutely. Chris, what do you think, buddy?
So as Breanna said, I mean, I'm happy for the changes. The man himself, Walt, said it'll never be finished. So changes will come. There is only one way that I'll be upset with it. And that's if, excuse me, we get to the location where Trader Sam was and they've replaced it with an animatronic of The Rock because he's going to be in the movie, The Jungle Cruise, the way they did Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp. I don't want to see that. According
to anything I've read or heard, they're not putting anything for the movie in this. So I think that'll be good because I think the movie will come and go. The ride will stay there. Sam, what are your thoughts?
I actually am really excited for it. One, I love the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. I'm really excited to see them tie the Jungle Navigation Company in more and share the sea story more. It actually takes me back to when Walt first came to Mark Davis and said, hey, I need you to rework the Jungle Cruise, because there was a mom and their child standing in line, and the mom's like, no, we're not going to do this because we've already ridden it and nothing ever changes in it. Right. Well, it's kind of like once you've done the Jungle Cruise so many times, it's the same thing. Unless you get a really good skipper.
That's true.
The skipper makes the difference.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's nice getting a facelift and getting a new story every once in a while still keeping, like Breanna said, the integrity, the humor of the attraction. And I do think it's a step in the right direction for Disney to be removing something that could be culturally insensitive.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. I'm going to take I want to say something real quick. Tim, who a lot of people know who Tim is. He's one of the hosts that's never been on the show since we've restarted because he's always working. He's actually at Walt Disney World right now. This is Thursday night. I don't know if he's still there, but he is sending me a boatload of pictures, and some of these pictures he's sending are absolutely amazing. And I'm going to put some of them on our social media. I might send some of these to you, Breanna, put on the Instagram, because some of these pictures are absolutely amazing. That he's some videos of Rise of the Resistance, but I had to go there. Tim, we're thinking about you. Hope you're having a great time. You have 2 more days there and get back to work so I don't have to do your job anymore because it's driving me crazy. Next story I want to dive in. You guys actually touched a lot last night on the lightsaber. So if you want to hear about the lightsaber, listen to Walt's Apartment podcast on our feed as well. Amber dove into that, and I think it's going to be cool. Unless you guys want to, would you guys buy a lightsaber? Like Chris said, I don't think it's going to be for the park. I think it's going to be more for the hotel because of the way that it's going to work. So I can't wait to see the videos. I know when this happened, Chris was screenshotting us pictures of Carly Weiss. Is it Carly Weiss? Is that her name?
Carly Wiesel.
Just losing her mind over seeing the lightsaber. She blibbity blobbity beep 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 beep. I just saw a lightsaber, a real lightsaber. Plop plop plop. I can't believe this. I just saw an effing real lightsaber, and just on and on and on. I wish I could have seen it. I heard some of the people have seen it, but have any of you seen that actual video of the lightsaber?
No, I don't think they've released anything.
Yeah, well, Carly saw it somehow, and I wonder how she saw it.
She's a reporter, and she was part of that. I have her Patreon, and was listening to her podcast about it.
She's great.
Yeah, I absolutely love her. Shout out to her when her podcast comes back. Very amusing. It is the most entertaining podcast that I could listen to. So,
wait,
Breanna.
Wait, what?
Breanna, wow. You're supposed to hype us up.
No,
you're on like
ours is a good second place compared now. But
wow. Okay, can we Breanna, you're goodbye, Breanna.
No, because hers is completely different than ours, so it's fine. So come to us for news, and then come to her for her ranting. But if you want some news, come to us. We are the best, and we're better than ParksCon, so that's all that matters.
I guess that's a shit show too, huh? ParksCon.
Guys.
What?
Be nice.
All right. That's what I've heard. Let's go by what I've read.
So, Chris, I really liked your idea yesterday but Chris, what you said made a lot of sense because obviously they're making really good money. It's Savi's workshop, right? That's the lightsabers?
Yes.
They're making good money there. Like, they're not going to take that experience away. They're going to make this as a huge incentive for people to spend more money when they're staying in the hotel.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're going to allow it to be, when they put out a patent of that, can it be that you can leave with it? I mean, I'm sure Disney will sell anything, right? But at the same time, that's why I just have a feeling it's going to be part of the experience. They've spent the money to make this above and beyond. Let's give it to that dedicated. Now, I don't know how that affects Disneyland because I'm sure they're not going to just do it just for one park and not the other. So it'll be interesting.
Okay.
We're going to find out soon.
We will. Next story I want to talk about, I'm going to switch over to Disneyland now. It was announced last week as well that on June 4th, Avengers Campus will finally open at Disneyland, which is cool because I was at Disneyland. I think the last time I was there was the last week that a Bugs Land was open. I think I was there a week after it closed, and it was all closed off already, and everyone's like, "How the hell can you get rid of Bugs Land? Bugs Land's amazing." Bugs Land was not amazing. It was like 3 little rides for kids and some little water fixtures. And what they've done now, well, I cannot wait to see it. Using the tower as a background, the Mission Breakout Tower as a background for this whole land. You have and you're right, Chris, I did not put in my article about the animatronic Spider-Man, which I should have. But you have the Web Slinger attraction. You have the Pym's Kitchen. You have the Doctor Strange spell casting training situation.
Training.
Sorcerer, yeah. Sorcerer is just a wizard without a hat, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay. Breanna, you've been to Disneyland. What are your thoughts on the Avengers Campus? What are your thoughts?
I'm really excited for it. I think it's finally come true that when they did Guardians of the Galaxy, I remember everyone being mad. They're like, it's so ugly. It doesn't match the theme anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so out of place. Well, now it's back in place, guys. Where we've got this beautiful Avengers Campus coming, and the Guardians of the Galaxy ride right there. Like, it's. I'm so excited to see this.
Yeah.
I love new lands anyway because I love seeing the new technology come out. Like, it's amazing what we can do anymore. Like, that's
immersion.
Like,
oh yeah,
especially when you walk in and you just feel like you're in a different world and you see things like we've talked about the Spider-Man animatronic already, but I was like just ready to see something like that and just be in awe. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I love these immersive parks. I love everything that comes out. Like, I love the technology. I just love everything. I'm excited.
I remember when Guardians of the Galaxy opened, right in front of it, there was a sign that said Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Down in the there's just flowers all around it. Down the flowers, there was just a hatch door, and it had the Avengers logo on it. And everyone's like, what the heck is this? Remember that, Breanna? Just that hat. There's just little hat. I'm not a hat, not little, but it looked like a manhole cover.
Okay.
It had the Avengers logo on it. No one knew what it meant. Now everyone knows what it means. So
now we all know.
You want to hear something funny?
Yep.
Yesterday, Chris and I looked at each other and said, "What the hell's a Bug's Land?"
Well, I can tell you. So Bug's Land was you walked into it, and off to the left was this theater, which had the Tough to Be a Bug show, the same thing that Walt Disney World, I believe, has. It's the same show. That's the only thing that stayed from a Bug's Land was that building structure, which is now part of the Web Slinger attraction. So everything else was leveled. You had 3 other rides in there, I believe. One was a little like you went around in a circle of like
I just remember Heimlich's choo-choo train. Yeah,
that's probably the best thing in there.
Yeah,
that was. But the one that spun around is now the Emotional Whirlwind. Is it not Up? I'm sorry. What's the movie I'm thinking of?
Inside Out.
Inside Out. Yeah.
Now that's now the Emotional Whirlwind, which is just a circle ride where it goes up and you fly for a few minutes. But it was 2 rides like that, and then the choo-choo train, which is actually at Pixar now. They actually took parts of it, and it's in the Pixar building in California. But yeah, Sam, I know you haven't been to Disneyland. I'm sure you read my awesome article on this. So
I did. You wrote some great articles this week.
Well, Shawn was out of town, so someone had to.
That made it you. I'm actually really excited. Definitely gives me more incentive if I did not have enough already to get to Disneyland. Yeah. The only thing I want to add is that leaping animatronic of Spider-Man might make me want to play Piñata.
Jeez. Well, Chris was back just for that.
I had to wait for Chris to come back to say that.
Life cold. The garage door wouldn't go down, so at 11 o'clock at night on the East Coast, I get told, she's like, "You better fix the garage door. I can't get it to come down." So.
I think the animatronic is really cool, and if you saw the Imagineering story on Disney Plus, you saw just like the first shots of that. What a cool idea! And you guys were talking about it last night on the live stream, and I think it's gonna be really cool. That whole land's. I'm glad they're doing that with the land over what was there before. And I'm not one.
But why is it Spider-Man?
Because he's amazing. It says it in the title of the book.
You'd be an amazing piñata. Give me a bat. Give me a broom.
Did I miss about the Hank Pym's kitchen?
No.
Being a chef, what do you think about that? I put a few things in the article. They having like this micro pasta with huge ass meatballs and stuff like that, and then the panini sandwich. So
yeah, I'm very surprised they have not released the menu yet, but I think it's going to be endless puns on food, which I think is going to be very exciting. It's going to give me personally a ton of material.
Yeah, for sure.
But I really think I'm glad to see a land that was focused with not just putting in a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they didn't just put in okay, we need to have a quick serve here and we'll call it Avengers Quick Serve.
Right.
It's themed and it makes sense to the theming of it. You know, so
it's a lot of space. Breanna has been there, but it's a lot of space that they're using to do this, and I can't wait. I know that they're also going to have a Quinjet, and in the phase 2 of this, a Quinjet attraction, which will be like your guys's Pandora ride, where you kind of sit in and fly in jetpacks. I know that's like for phase 2 of this. I can't wait to see it next March when I finally get to go back.
The other genius thing I think they did, we're 15 days as of today from the park's opening, and they pushed it to June 4th. Now they could have opened it, right?
Oh, it's been done since I think November. It's been completely done. So
they're playing capacity well.
They have to.
Yeah, they're being safe.
Very smart doing that.
So, which brings me up. We'll talk about that in a second. Real quick, Haunted Mansion is getting a few upgrades. Haunted Mansion was actually, if you don't know about Disneyland's Haunted Mansion compared to Walt Disney World's Haunted Mansion, for the fall, it actually does a complete makeover into Nightmare Before Christmas, and it goes from I think end of August till January. It's shut down in January to be taken down for its. It takes about a month for it to actually take down to convert back to Haunted Mansion. But when they took it down this last time, they said we're going to do a refurb as well. They repainted some of it, added some new stuff into it. Breanna, you did the article last night. What was some of the stuff? I know they added the picture and they added some queuing effects, I believe.
Yeah, most of it kind of seems to be during the walkthrough and just kind of some like facelifts, like some new wallpaper, some new curtains, a pet graveyard. Again, why? Don't take your pets there, guys. If you hear voices telling you to bury your pets there, don't do it. Read Stephen King's Pet Cemetery, But then there is a painting called April to December that is a 2-phase painting of a woman, and it goes back and forth. That looks really cool. So it's a nice little facelift just for David when he gets to ride.
Yeah, someday. So I have a question about Walt Disney World Haunted Mansion. The stretching room, do you actually lower or does the room go up?
The ceiling goes up in Walt Disney World.
It does go up. Okay. Because I know at Disneyland, it's actually part of the ride. You have to actually use it to get down below.
Well, so they're not using it right now at Walt Disney World. You're just walking through.
Right. That's my curiosity is that when Disneyland opens in 15 days from when we're recording this, how are you going to get into it? Because at Walt Disney World, at Disneyland, you walk into the stretching room and the idea is you're standing in the elevator, but it's actually dropping you down probably 20, 30 feet because it takes you out because then you do the walkway, which takes you outside the park to get you into the show building for the ride. So I'm really curious what they will do for the queue for Haunted Mansion when it opens on April 30th. I don't know. That's probably one of the most exciting things. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. You might have to go in the exit because you can't just go in and jump down because it's gonna be different how they're gonna do it. So
have faith, Breanna, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be great. So now, last thing on Disneyland, Shawn Nyberg did an article today. Today is April 15th when we're recording this, and on April 15th, you were able to go in as a California resident and buy park tickets for Disneyland because right now when Disneyland reopens, it's only for California residents. There was so many people. No, I agree with you because if it wasn't, I'd be going somehow in the next couple of months. I would figure out a way to go. There'd be no doubt about it because I have a bunch of military tickets that are going to expire in December, and I can't use them unless I use them before then. So I don't think I'm going to be able to make it before then if something doesn't change. But according to Shawn's article, and I've read this all day on Twitter, Shawn was talking about it, and I saw some Mr. Cheesy Pop was talking about it, Fresh Baked was talking about it. These servers crashed on the Disneyland website when you're trying to buy tickets, completely crashed, shut down.
Sounds like typical Disney.
Yeah.
People waited. I saw someone say they were waiting for like 6 hours to get tickets.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Cheesy Pop, Max Glick, was at Universal Studios this evening. still on his phone waiting to try to get on to see if he can get tickets. It's just so it shows you that no one's getting favoritism, because you would think some of these park vloggers or bloggers that would get some kind of treatment, and they don't at all, because Max did not get some. I know Best Life and Beyond got theirs a couple of days ago, but yeah, shut down. And I did find out at the end of the day that April 30th, which is the opening day for Disneyland Resort, Disneyland itself is completely sold out. So, which we kind of expect that at 25% capacity. So that's all of our parks news. We had a lot this week to go over. Do you guys have anything else you want to add regarding any kind of parks news?
There was the one more about Disney changing their guidelines for the Disney
skipped over
look.
that. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right.
You're fine.
Yeah. Another amazing article. Yeah, Disney look, which this should have happened a long time ago, and I understand why it hasn't, because Walt was very strict on dress code and wanted things to be a certain way. And if you ever gone to Disneyland, Disney World, you notice that the cast members are completely looking good, clean cut, minimal facial hair, no jewelry, no nail polish. That's all changing. Yeah, no tattoos, which is changing now, which I think is awesome. It's going to include people that have head dressings, that have to wear head dressing, something like that. They're okay with it. Like I said, no face tattoos, no neck tattoos, minimal jewelry. There's some pictures on the article that I wrote of the Haunted Mansion cast member. He actually has a hoop earring, which you never would have seen that before. So
there's some different costume alternatives. Gender inclusive hairstyles.
Mm-hmm.
So they are allowing for more gender expression, more self-expression in general,
absolutely, and
more cultural representation.
Yeah, which I think is awesome. It's about time. If you don't know Disney, they have basically it's like four keys kind of to like their whole program. The fifth key now is inclusion, which includes if I had the article I could bring up, it's Josh D'Amaro talked about it, basically including everyone for being who you are. And good. It's about damn time. I think there's no, I don't know. I have very heavy thoughts on that, because I don't see people for their color or for their gender or their sexual preference. I don't see people that way. I see them as people. And I'm glad that this is going that way and we're taking a different turn. I'll get off my soapbox. Breanna, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm also very glad that this is happening. I also very much believe that this should have happened a long time ago. I did not know that people were not allowed to wear like hijabs and niqabs. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. I never realized, and it's kind of outrageous. And I'm glad that this is now being more inclusive.
Yep.
Like, I was in complete shock when I read that article and realized that wasn't allowed. Those things are very personal religious garments, and they definitely need to be allowed. I'm glad that we are thinking into more of gender inclusivity and allowing people to have these expressions. I mean, people wait their whole lives and really want to work at Disney and are okay taking these steps. And it's one of those things where these small changes that they're making to allow people to wear what they want never negates from what they're able to do as cast members. They will be doing the exact same job. So anybody that is upset about what these look like and what cast members are going to look like just need to stop, because these are still the same cast members that you have always had. They're just being allowed to express themselves more, which should be allowed. So
and it'll make them happier.
Exactly. So I'm very happy for this.
Good.
And this should have happened a while ago, but we will take it now.
Absolutely. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree 100%, especially, if this is their religion or whatever it is. Just like you, Shawn, I don't see color, creed. It is what it is. What's the value of the person? I'm looking forward to seeing that once everything's back open, meaning travel, how this affects EPCOT, because in EPCOT, in the World Pavilion, were cast members from their countries. And the one thing that was always a little muted was that, yes, they're from that country, but they're wearing the Disney uniform. And they'll still be in the uniform, but they'll be able to express it a little bit more, probably. So I look at that, and I just say the quote from the Sherman Brothers is just just one moon and one golden sun, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We'll go with that.
How about you, Sam? What do you think?
I thought I already went. I mean, I think it's great.
Okay.
I think it's important for Disney to be doing this.
Yeah.
They are taking steps in, I keep saying, in the right direction today. I've said that
Right.
This is the third time I've said this. But, I mean, they're doing it in their Disney Plus shows. They're showing us, different things that are societal issues. They are trying to be more culturally responsive in their films and with their film content creators, with their filmmakers. They're getting more buy-in from different cultures when they're making films. So lots of moves that need to be made.
Yeah, it's funny you mention all that stuff because like I've done this for a couple of years, podcast, and I've never been more proud to talk about something, or we obviously talk about Disney. That's what our focus is, and good for them for all this stuff. And I'm very happy to do this. It's funny you talk about the jewelry. My daughter, when she worked at Hollywood Studios and the Great Movie Ride, she always would wear bracelets. She wore like 5 or 6 bracelets on her arms, and she had one. Her nickname was Chichi, that she got from her friend in Mexico, that was tied onto her arm, and she couldn't. And she knew when she went there she couldn't wear it anymore, so we cut it off before she left. And I was talking to her the other day, and she goes, I wish it was happened a couple of years ago when I was there, but at least it's happening now, and I'm happy it's happening. So. Yeah, so that's all of our parks news this week. Check out our stuff on DisInsider.com, and we will try to keep you updated as much as we can on parks news. Sam, tell us about Marty Sklar.
Oh, Marty Sklar. Pretty much anything that you heard Walt ever say was likely written at some point by Marty Sklar. I mean, Walt probably changed it because he had a big, bold personality, but Marty often wrote the words that Walt was supposed to say. So all of the television series that you saw Walt do, any public speaking, Marty was the man kind of writing that for him. Marty was actually really young when he started with the Walt Disney Company. He was an editor of the University of California at Los Angeles Daily Bruin campus newspaper, and they pulled him over to write the Disneyland news for the opening year of Disneyland. And Walt liked his style and basically brought him into Imagineering, where it wasn't Imagineering at the time. It was WED, but he brought him in as publishing or publicity and marketing, and he started doing Vacationland magazine. He joined WDI in 1961 to kind of do some things for the World's Fair for General Electric, Ford, Pepsi, and UNICEF. UNICEF would be the little doggy thing that they had. What was his name? Oh, Nip. That little guy. Everybody's probably like, Sam, what are you talking about? But, Nipper. No, Nipper. Oh, he was the RCA dog. Never mind. Nipper was the RCA dog. Strike that. Reverse it. I got there eventually. It just took me a second. So during his years at Disney, Marty, again, wrote Walt's words, any publications, television appearances, special films, and even Walt's 20-minute movie for EPCOT. Everything was kind of written around Marty by Marty. I actually have a funny story that my friend, who's an Imagineer, told me. And if you listen to that original tape, you can hear Marty and Walt arguing over the pronunciation of Kissimmee. And Walt kept saying it wrong. And at one point he goes, "Kissing my ass, Marty." So that's a fun story. He became an Imagineering officer in 1974 and was appointed the vice president of concepts and planning. He basically had his hand in developing every park. Marty touched every single park, and he was vice president and vice chairman of the company for about 10 years. And then when he did retire and got his service and leadership award and he became a Disney legend, he then became the ambassador for Imagineering, and he traveled around the world and the country giving presentations on theme park design and on the Disney way, and just doing all of these things to kind of share what was working for the company all over the world and just spreading the Disney magic all around. Unfortunately, Marty is no longer with us, but I do have a funny story that I can share if you guys want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I hope I don't get in trouble for sharing this. So Roger, if you're listening, I'm sorry. But I have a friend who was an Imagineer.
I hope he is. I hope he is listening.
Hi, Raj.
Hi, Roger.
He was an Imagineer, and he was in California, and they were going to transfer him to Florida because they had a project they wanted him to work on in Florida to be a creative director for it, and he did not want to go. And they're like, well, you're going to have to talk to Marty. And Marty goes in and talks to Marty, and Marty's like, sit down. And he's like, okay, well, I don't want to go to Florida. And he goes, listen, I'm going to choke you. And he was like, what? Like, he's sitting there like, Marty Sklar is going to choke me. And he proceeded to choke him emotionally, to choke him up. He's thinking, come on, Marty, do you need to go out to the parking lot over here and like duke it out? But instead, Marty gave him a bunch of emotional reasons why it would be a good reason for him to move to Florida with his family and take on that project. And he did. Marty emotionally choked him up. My Imagineering friend did move to Florida. He ended up becoming the creative director for One Man Stream.
Nice.
And it was a good move. So Marty definitely was an inspiration for him. Marty inspired pretty much everybody who went through Imagineering ever. Like, he's up there at the best of the best.
Right. Now, didn't Brian Collins say that that's who he interviewed with? Or he met Marty Sklar?
He has. Yeah,
he has met him. Going back to the ear story with one ear off of the Mickey Mouse ears from our Walt's Apartment podcast a few weeks ago.
Yes, Brian said he ripped an ear off the Mickey Mickey hat and sent it in as a ransom note. Hey, that was the creative edge he needed to get himself in.
So if you've watched the Imagineering story, Marty Sklar was probably he's probably the biggest part of that whole series. I think he was he's pretty much in it the whole time, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, he, like I said, he's the only person who had his hand in every single park.
Right. And you said a story a while back that before Walt died, from when Pirates was being built, wasn't it Marty that he had go through the ride through the walkthrough?
No,
was it Marty?
I think it was Roger.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
I think
my
it was
bad.
Roger. I can't remember.
Okay, no problem. So, do you have any more on Marty?
Oh, do
you
want more?
No, I mean we could talk about. You know me, I can talk about Imagineers and Disney parks. I could do this. This could be.
I do have something else. Actually, Marty was known for his pin hat. He wore a pin hat and he kept pins on it that were, like Disney park pins or just international pins. And they all connected to stories. And there's actually a book about Marty's pins, and it tells each story. He's got a couple of books. The Dream It, Do It book is a really good one. Marty's the man.
Yes, he is.
Rest in peace, man.
For sure.
Yeah, he's definitely the one Imagineer that I've always looked up and always followed. And there was a thing that I had a couple of years ago that he wrote like these 10 commandments for the Imagineers. And one that I always remember, my background in hospitality and restaurants. But he actually said, identify the prime audience for your attraction or show before the design. You begin the design. And to me, if you take that into anything you do,
of course,
think about the customer's end of it before you go and create something. And, that's people say to me all the time, they're like, oh, you're going to Disney, right? Everyone gets, oh, you're going to Disney World again? You're going to... And when I start to explain stuff like this, and then they're like, oh, and I'm like, yeah. That's
so, yeah. They're Marty's commandments are actually called the Mickey's 10 Commandments.
Yep.
And when you hear, I'll read them to you because I have them in front of me. But when you read them, you're like, this is how every business should be run. This is like, as a teacher, most of these relate to me. This is how people should carry themselves in their careers, pretty much, no matter what their careers are. They're just foundations of being good at what you do.
Right.
And we know that Disney is good at what they do.
Oh, for sure. Before you read them, real quick. Talking about those 10 commandments, my boss, when I sell cars, I work for Chevy basically. And Chevy goes to Disney every year and trains to learn. They call it the Disney way. It's this, they take how Disney treats their employees and they instill that onto Chevy employees. And, he said he'd mentioned the 10 Commandments. He said there's some 10 Commandments book by some guy that they read, and I'm a sleazy car salesman. But if you think about these 10 commandments that Sam's about to read, it does work for any business that you possibly could think of, because they go there to learn how Disney does it, because Disney is the best, like Chris said, at hospitality and taking care of their customers and providing a show for their customers. So go ahead, Sam.
Right. Number 1, know your audience. Don't bore people, talk down to them, or lose them by assuming that they know what you know.
Yep.
As a teacher, that's like the number 1. You have to front load information. You have to provide background information, because, if we hadn't seen the movies that Disney gave us, some of these lands would make 0 sense to us. Like, they know their audience. They know what movies have been successful, and that's what they're giving us.
100%.
Number 2, wear your guest shoes. Insist that designers, staff, and your board members experience your facility as visitors as often as possible. That is an Imagineering rule. They have to go walk the park as guests.
Bob Chapek, go and read number 2.
Yes. Number 3, organize the flow of people and ideas. Use good storytelling techniques. Tell good stories, not lectures. Lay out your exhibit with a clear logic. Everything at Disney flows. It's cohesive. They try not to interrupt the story that they're telling. Number 4, create a weenie. Lead visitors from one area to another by creating visual magnets and giving visitors rewards for making the journey. Like thinking about walking through Magic Kingdom. You see you're drawn to the castle. Then you're drawn to Space Mountain. You're drawn to Big Thunder Mountain. Like you're constantly being pulled to the next area of the park. You're drawn to the Haunted Mansion. Like you see something that is constantly pulling you in. So those weenies are actually very important in Disney culture. And like I said, they cause the story to not be interrupted. They're pulling you into the next story, the next adventure. Number 5, communicate with visual literacy. Make good use of all the nonverbal ways of communication: color, shape, form, texture. I laugh about that one because we were just talking about the, what is it called? Never mind. I'm thinking about the the paint that they use for the cast.
Green?
Go Away Green. Think about the Go Away Green.
No, I don't want to talk about that conversation again.
I did get a little feisty, didn't I? Number 6, avoid overload.
I had your back, girl. Don't worry. I had your back.
Number 6, avoid overload. Resist the temptation to tell too much, to have too many objects. Don't force people to swallow more than they can digest. Try to stimulate and provide guidance to those who want more. So it's offer more without shoving it down people's throats. 7, tell one story at a time. If you have a lot of information, divide it into distinct, logical, organized stories. People can absorb and retain information more clearly if the path to the next concept is clear and logical. Number 8, avoid contradiction. Clear institutional identity helps give you the competitive edge. Public needs to know who you are and what differentiates you from other institutions they may have seen. Hello. There is nothing else like Disney parks out there when it comes to the theme park industry.
Right.
You know what you're getting from Disney, and you know you're not going to get that anywhere else. So there you go. Disney avoids contradiction. Number 9, for every ounce of treatment, provide a ton of fun. How do you woo people from all other temptations? Give people plenty of opportunity to enjoy themselves by emphasizing ways that let people participate in the experience and by making your environment rich and appealing to all senses. Hey, Disney activates all of your senses. They're constantly pulling you from one smell to the next, one visual appeal to the next, one auditory sense to the next.
And that was the start of that conversation the other night, was talking about that exact topic.
The smell it, sir, yeah. Number 10. This is the most important one, I think. Keep it up. Never underestimate the importance of cleanliness and routine maintenance.
For sure.
People expect to get a good show every time. People will comment more on broken and dirty stuff. If there's something that's gross, you're going to hear about that more than you're going to hear about the things that are going well. So don't give them something to talk about.
Perfect.
There you go. Mickey's 10 Commandments. Marty Sklar does have a book on that, as well as, you know, his stories on pin hats, his Dream It, Do It. Marty's a great author too.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sam, for the Marty Sklar update. We are keeping Chris up really, really late. It's almost midnight. You don't care?
No.
Okay, fine.
No, I'm totally fine. I'm talking Disney with 3 friends.
Right. So I want to thank our sponsor, Getaway Today. Check out Getaway Today, especially now that Disneyland is reopened. You can actually buy tickets for Disneyland from Getaway Today. The websites have been just as busy as Disneyland's, but check them out, Getaway Today. There is also, I'm going to provide a link that was given to us by Getaway Today to click on to actually buy tickets through us, through Getaway Today from Walt's apartment. So check that out. I'll put that new link in the show notes this week. So check out Getaway Today. You can book your trip within 500 days and $200 down. Pay the rest before you go. Getaway Today, they are awesome. And we will go into some travel tips with Breanna. Breanna, real quickly, tell us about what kids should take with them on a trip. I know we talked last week about what the parents should pack, but what the kids should pack as well.
Yeah, so if you're taking kids, it starts to become a whole new world when you go to Disney.
Yeah,
I do not have kids, so Shawn and all of you guys, if you want to chime in anytime, go for it.
Leave the kids at home. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, honestly, as a person that goes to Disney a lot by herself, I agree. No, but I think having a kid would be fun too.
No, I will say there is nothing like experiencing Disney through the eyes of your child. It's magical.
The best. It's the best thing ever, honestly.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, my niece has wanted to go for a while, and hopefully after COVID we can make it happen. But she came up to me one time and she goes, "Aunt Bree, Mommy said that 4-year-olds can't go to Disney, but I know other 4-year-olds go to Disney." And I was like, all right, we'll figure it out, kiddo. She's not 4 anymore, but hopefully we will figure it out soon. So just kind of making your kid comfortable in the parks, entertaining in the parks, because there's always long waits. It's hot, especially if even in Disneyland. Disneyland and Walt Disney World are extremely hot most of the year. So those are like 2 big goals that you would have with your children. When you go into a hotel, you're going to be staying in a new place. So bringing comfort items like a blanket or a toy for your child that they have, that they love, can make them feel more comfortable in the hotel, along with a nightlight or anything that they may need. A lot of people talk about noise machines or music boxes for their children or even themselves as well. Most Disney resort hotels do have certain like pack and plays and cribs for children if needed, but they are first come, first serve. So if there is something you would want, there are specific pack and plays that are meant for travel. They pack up super light. They're usually around 10 pounds. They pack up into a backpack. You're easily able to check them on a plane if you're flying. These can be very convenient. It is something else that you would have to bring, but especially if you're going during a peak time, there is potential that you would not get one of these because they are first come, first serve.
They're also not comfortable. They're like little baby jails.
They look Yeah, they don't look great. Bringing your own, that especially the way that these are so compact, highly recommend. Another thing you will need during the parks is something you can also bring is a stroller. There are different ways that you can rent strollers, either through Disney or through different companies around Orlando that will drop them off at the hotel and pick them back up. One that I always hear good reviews from is Kingdom Strollers. These seem super simple, just ways to get strollers. Again, if you have children or if you like to pack a lot of things into your stroller, bringing your own might be the best way to go. There are different stroller size guidelines, so make sure you check the Disney website and that if yours is compliant with that if you are bringing your own. All strollers kind of look the same. So if you are parking your stroller somewhere, make sure you bring, a ribbon, something colorful to tie onto your stroller to keep it standing out. Right now with COVID, most cast members are not moving strollers like they usually do. Sometimes they will try to compact them to be able to fit more strollers into the stroller parking area. So your stroller may be moved. Right now, again, with the COVID, they don't seem to be doing that, but that doesn't mean that by the time that you park your stroller and then leave and come back, that everything around has changed. So just to have that familiarity with something quickly and just saving that little bit of time, especially with kids, is helpful. Other things you might want to connect to your stroller are different, I don't know what they're called, but those giant hooks that people use, and you can connect bags and water bottles and everything to them, and they can hang right off your stroller and just make storage a lot more convenient and easier. Along with fans, I know last week we talked about personal handheld fans. There are fans that connect right to the stroller. That way kids aren't having to hold them. They don't drop them. They're connected right to the stroller, helping your kids stay cool while in the stroller or throughout the park. Talked about how hot it is. If you do go in the winter times, it does get a little cool, especially in the evenings. There are specific stroller blankets that will attach to your stroller and fold up very compact. So these are nice to have for those cooler evenings, which don't happen very often, but sometimes between January and February. That's about it.
I will recommend too, they have very thin muslin blankets that are nice to toss over the stroller that keep the sun out too. So if the baby falls asleep napping during the day. And strollers, I really love the Zoe brand strollers for the parks. They are the most compact strollers, when it comes to carrying. I could fold the entire Here's me getting on a Disney bus, because you have to take kids out of the strollers if you're getting on a Disney bus. You can't just, roll them on there. So picking up the kid, putting him on my hip, you can grab the stroller with one hand, collapse it while holding the kid on your other hip, and the stroller is a whole 5 pounds. But it's not like an umbrella stroller. It's got a full canopy. The canopy goes all the way down. So I really recommend the Zoe brand. We use our Zoe stroller every time we go, and I love it. It's lightweight, less than 5 pounds, collapses with one hand while holding a sleeping child, and folds up really compact. So,
and it's big enough for your 5-year-old now. It's been good for all stages.
She's still, I don't know that I would use it for a newborn, but probably 6 months or up.
Okay.
But they do have newborn strollers.
I actually can add to this, believe it or not. I have
all right.
So first trip from my daughter, we took her at 5, and the rule was I'm not doing a stroller. If she can't walk and you can't explain that she needs to use the restroom, I'm not doing it. Real quick, just backstory on that. We're walking in. We scanned the card, right? No magic bands back in 2013 it was. And it starts pouring rain. And she sits down, and there's a bunch of us that are just under some shelter, and we're still outside. And she goes, "This is boring, Daddy." And I turn around to a bunch of people around me, and I go, "On the other side of that wall, your life is going to be changed forever. Deal with this." And everybody started clapping. But things that we brought at the 5-year-old age were, we hit up the dollar store and bought a bunch of glow sticks waiting for the parade. Yep. She did a whole bunch of that. And the cool thing was, we told her she had to give 2 of them out. She always had to give to another kid. So that was something that entertained her. And then we saved up money. She had to do at 5 years old some type of chore so she can make Disney money. And that's what, till today, she's 13 now. And of course, that account has gotten a lot bigger and the chores have gotten a lot smaller. But, it was that so she can purchase whatever she wanted. But it taught her that I can't buy everything in the Emporium. I can buy, Daddy, do I have enough money? And even if she didn't, she was going to get that. But it was a teaching lesson. And I think that's the one thing. And I'm a big believer in, if you're going to take your children to the most magical place on earth, you have to understand they're going to want things. It's like you can't, back in the day when it was Toys R Us and I was taken as a child to be told that my mother was buying a gift for a friend and I'm not getting anything, that wasn't cool. Right. And it drives me crazy when I say, we're not buying anything in Magic Kingdom, or, and it just pack patience. That's something that has to go in every bag is the patience. But seeing it through a child's eyes is something that will never change.
Oh, I will say too, they have covers for the strollers too. You when you were talking about rain, they have so when you park that stroller and you're going to get in a queue to get on a ride, it's going to start pouring when you're in that queue. And you're going to come out and your stroller is going to be soaking wet. So cover it before you go in with like
Breanna, I'm going to give you an amazing patent that you got to create. Okay, Breanna?
Okay.
So I love it because it's entertaining to me. We take a break and people watch. When people have in their strollers and they leave their snacks available, and you get to watch the ducks and the squirrels. So come up with something that just locks so that they don't do that. I mean, I'll lose my entertainment, but that's hysterical that I get to see all of that. Oh, and it's amazing that they start the park in strollers and then you watch them in scooters later on as they are elders. So it's a big similarity with covers and rain. So great ideas, Breanna.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you have any more additions, Breanna?
I did. I can go quickly. So I was going to talk about rain covers, specifically companies make those, or like the company that your stroller is by also have specific ones as well sometimes. Small kids, something that I thought was really cool and I didn't fully think of was a clip for the pacifier, so you're not constantly losing the pacifier on the ground and having to sanitize and clean it all day, along with disposable placemats. I did buy these for my little cousins and my nieces when they were younger. They just like unfold. There's a little sticky part in the back. They sit down, they don't move, and you can place food on it, especially now with COVID. It's just like a nice little clean area for like finger foods for toddlers. And containers for food. There's a lot of different containers now that like kids can hold and flip every which way, and it's got a swivel so like your food's not flying. Just a way to save snacks so the goldfish aren't going everywhere. Going with that, just like specific snacks for your child. Like every child has like their kind of like comfort snacks, specific snacks that they want, and they want it right then. When you're in the park on long days, it's nice to have those things that have familiarity, just to have like, and sometimes food lines are long, especially now with COVID and mobile ordering and limited people allowed into stores. Having your own snacks and everything just kind of packed away can save you a lot of time. I think we talked a little bit about it last week with the Ziploc baggies, just having an extra change of clothes for your kids. We've talked already about how it rains constantly in Florida and water rides. Right now there's like, they're not open, but different like splash areas and things for kids. So having that extra set of clothes again to keep them comfortable.
Or potty accidents.
There you go.
Or spilling.
Any accidents. All
for
accidents.
Sure. Kids get dirty.
Yeah. As kids get older, they can carry their own backpack, just like with entertainment, even with younger kids, some sort of entertainment for lines. Lines do get long. Coloring books, notebooks, different games, phone games, tablets. I don't know if iPod touches are still a thing, but stuff like that. Autograph books when there's
I don't think so.
I was like,
you can listen to the Outsiders on it.
I know. Like I had I was like, all of my cousins had like their little iPod touch and like they could like, it had little games. So it's basically a phone without cell service. Although My cousin used to text me on it all the time. She was 5 years old. And if I wasn't like home directly after work, because I lived with my aunt and my cousin, I would get text messages from my 5-year-old cousin. Where are you? Like, fun times. Notebooks, autograph books right now. We're not meeting characters, but hopefully someday soon we will get those autograph books back out and ready to go. One thing I learned and I did not know, as we've kind of talked about, magic bands are slowly phasing out, but we still have magic bands. If your child is wearing your magic band and somehow gets separated from you, cast members can scan the magic band and see who you're connected with to get you back to your family faster. So if your kid will wear a magic band, have them wear their magic band because it is a form of ID for them. One thing I also thought was cool was moms that would make little ID cards if their kids carried a backpack or something with like allergy information and contact information on them.
They also have a thing where you can do temporary tattoos with like a parent's cell phone number, or like if the kid does have allergies or something, you can get a temporary tattoo made to put it on the kid's arm.
That's cool. Like, I feel like I would sweat
lost,
it off.
Please call this number.
Little brand your children. Actually, no, I think all safety measures are good. So
anything can happen.
Yeah. I think that's all,
Chris
guys.
is like, don't tattoo your kids.
Take them to the tattoo shop. Get it done.
Get a permanent one.
Yep.
No regrets.
No regrets. Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys have seen that movie, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
No, I just said no regrets for no reason.
Good point. Sorry. Are you good, Breanna, with all of your kiddie travel tips?
Kiddie travel tips.
Yeah, appreciate
and
it.
Little fast motion, but hey, I think I got them all.
Perfect. I appreciate it. So we want to finish up. We have, I want to go ask you guys some shopping questions about Walt Disney World Resort, if you're cool with that, because I never, like I said, when I was there, I think there was just EPCOT in Walt Disney World. So, Sam, where's your favorite place to shop in EPCOT?
I don't know the names of places.
Perfect.
But I don't shop a lot in the parks unless there's something that Haley wants. Like,
right.
I don't buy a lot for myself in the parks. I spend most of my time and money at World of Disney in Disney Springs.
We originally were going to do this topic for Shawn before he went on his trip.
Chris is like, no, Sam.
But World of Disney basically has everything you need. So I 100% agree with you there, because they have the same thing at Disney. What are you shaking your head for?
No, that's not true. It is not true. There are certain shops that have only specific things. See, Breanna, she doesn't want to shake her head a lot, but she knows I'm right.
Okay.
Especially in EPCOT. But...
Yes.
So right, well, tell us then.
EPCOT, listen, the most famous one is Mouse Gears. Not the Mouse Gears that's there today, but the original Mouse Gears. Mm-hmm. That's the best place to shop. And we were speaking earlier about the Beverly and the Club Cool. Mm-hmm. I believe that's going to be attached to the new Mouse Gears, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So that is where you go to shop in EPCOT. For me,
what do you think?
Yep, I was also going to say Mouse Gear. It's one of my favorite, like through all of Disney property. I feel like it's just, I don't know if it's just as big, but it's giant. It's like big, like the Emporium and World of Disney. And for some reason, I feel like I can find things there that are sold out at other stores. Like when you're trying to find like that lounge flyer, that Spirit jersey, if it's sold out everywhere else, I can usually find it at Mouse Gear. If it's still like available at the resort somewhere, it's usually at Mouse Gear.
Actually, I learned at Magic Kingdom last time I was there, if there's something that you want and it's supposed to be in a store and it's not, and you ask them, they will try and locate it on property for you and tell you where it is, or have it, or you can they'll hold it for you.
You can do it on the app, correct? I've done it on. I've scanned the item. And it tells you, right?
They used to have a second shopping app along with Shop Disney. I don't remember what it was called. And you used to be able to, scan everything and it would pop up and tell you what store it is, or it would tell you if it was available online and you could like ship it right to your house, like while you were shopping in Disney World. I don't know I think they were trying to combine that and Shop Disney. I've just never tried it again with like all of the apps and like the My Disney experience. So I don't fully know how it all works anymore.
What's missing is the sending from the shops back to the resort. Now, I've stayed on property, and that was a huge advantage. Or even to the front of the park. No, because of the pandemic, they stopped with all of that. And I never knew it was the actual item. I always thought, like, we take this behind the register, and then some warehouse sends it to the hotel. Right. But it's the actual item. So
I used to work at the zoo in Ohio, and we used to do all of that. Look up, like they'd be like, "We want this animal, like stuffed animal," and I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like looking at my computer, giraffe stuffed animal, and it pops up every store that has a giraffe stuffed animal, and I'd be like, "You can go here." Or they'd be like, "We want to send this to the front of the store," and I have to pack it all up, fill out a slip, tell it where it's going, call someone to come get it. They come get it, and then take it up to the front. And it was always nice for them, and I still take advantage of that kind of stuff too. But it was always an interesting time. I felt really bad the one time I sent up a glass figure and it got broken before it made it to the front of the...
Way to go, Breanna.
Good job, Breanna.
Hey, I wasn't the one that
some
broke
kid's
it.
Day.
I literally was an adult, like some annual pass holder that bought this like zoo member, and they just like, and they call and tell me, they're like, "We dropped it and broke it." I'm like, "Okay," like, and then they're like, "Do you not have enough tissue paper?" And I was like, "I've got tissue paper. There's tissue paper on it. I'm not the one that dropped it."
Right.
It was an ordeal that day. Over a glass stingray. Never forget the glass stingray.
We've got mouse gears.
Chris, Hollywood Studios, what do you think?
So Sam had to help me with the actual name. I knew the location, but it's
World of Disney?
Stage One Company, I believe is the name. And if it's wrong, it's the last store on the right-hand side as you're heading towards Tower of Terror. And the reason I like that one is I started a collection for my daughter they have the figurines for Beauty and the Beast. So Lumiere was there and Cogsworth, and now they just came out with the wardrobe. So we got to complete the collection. So got to get that.
Perfect. How about you, Breanna?
I don't think I've done a lot of shopping in Hollywood Studios. I know there's a bunch of stores right there at the front, and they're always fun to go through. But yeah, I don't think I really have a specific one.
Okay. Sam, you?
Haley really likes the ones over by like the Disney Junior meet and greets. There's lots of plushies and stuffies over there. She really likes those.
There you go. All right. So, Breanna, Animal Kingdom.
Gosh. This is another one where I don't really know if I have a specific shop.
Okay. No problem.
Nope, sorry.
No problem. Sam, how about you?
Pandora, whichever, like whatever the one is that when you come off of Flight of Passage, when you like the shop with all the banshees and stuff.
This sucks not knowing what you're talking about. Honestly, sitting here not knowing anywhere what you're talking about, that drives me crazy, but it's okay. Chris, how about you, buddy?
It's called Disney Outfitters, and it's right by like the Tree of Life area, I guess. Okay. Kind of. But they have some different stuff in there. So that's
okay. Cool. Last park is Magic Kingdom. Sam, do you have any specific stores you like in Magic Kingdom?
I mean, everything on Main Street. But
is there an Emporium there?
Yeah.
There is an Emporium. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Confectionery, probably.
Okay.
Just the smell when you walk into the confectionery.
I know that in Disneyland they have the Emporium, they have the Candy Palace, they have I don't know if they have the same stuff at Walt Disney World. So, but those are a couple at Disneyland. I would say the Emporium for sure. It's kind of like it in the park World of Disney, has everything. It's right there on the corner. But we're not talking about Disneyland. Someday we'll talk about that. Breanna, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say the Emporium, the one that's in Tomorrowland, and I can't think of what it's called right now. It's not the one coming out of Space Mountain, but like
the one by Anti-Gravity's.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah,
that one has some good stuff.
It's like I cannot remember its name, but yes, the one right by the ice cream place.
Okay. Chris, how about you, buddy?
It's called the Bonjour Village Gifts, and it's in Fantasyland. It's a Beauty and the Beast themed.
Cool.
I'm
stuff.
sensing a theme with Chris.
Right?
And, yeah, and it's my wife's favorite movie. It's a classic, and I sing the opening. You want to hear it? It's only 20 minutes. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, come on.
Go for it.
But the reason for that shop is it actually it was closed because of the pandemic and all of that, right? And social distancing. But because of the 50th, they're redoing the art shop on Main Street, and they opened up this location and moved all the art into there. When I was there a few weeks ago on that trip, I walked in and they said, "Today's our opening day." Spoke to me in French for like 3 seconds and then explained to me that it's none of that stuff I was looking for is available.
Oh, Haley really likes Big Top too.
Okay. And that's that Magic Kingdom as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
The
I
Dumbo area.
I think our next episode, we will do a shopping at Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, just because so I know what we're talking about. Because there's some cool places to shop there too. We'll get into it next time. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tease. So this brings us to the end of our Extra Magic Hour for this week. Sam, where can we find you on the internet?
Disology podcast, all over the place at Walt's Apartment Podcast, Behind the Lamp, and
Follow us.
Becky, all over the place.
Indeed. Breanna, how about you? Let me guess. Is it Breanna_K7?
Yes.
Yes.
On
Instagram.
On Instagram, yes, I listen.
Just Breanna_K on Twitter, and then the Walt's Apartment Instagram page. Come hang out.
Do you understand Twitter?
Kind of.
Yeah, you can do the Twitter page too if you want, because we have one of those.
I can tweet. I can make some weird tweets, I'm sure.
We have 4,000 followers. I don't know. I mean, all I ever do is like the DisInsider stuff. I don't know what to do on Twitter. But hey, it's cool. Chris, where can we?
Yes.
Thank you again for joining us, buddy.
Well, I appreciate it. It's been a great week. I mean, I got to spend three of the 5 days so far of my week has been with Breanna. So knocked it out of the park finally.
What the heck?
We don't care about Sam.
So every Wednesday on YouTube, you can find Disney Done Differently. Thank you very much. Facebook, YouTube, and Clubhouse. You can search my name. Thanks to the Blared Hulk, I now have a Clubhouse spot. And Shawn, I love when you're on there. And
I've tried that once, dude. It was the weirdest thing.
What the heck?
What?
He keeps. Okay, I'm not going on stage with you anymore. I'm not going on stage ever again.
Have you talked on there?
Yeah.
No, I did it once. It was the weirdest damn thing.
I know.
I can host on a podcast. I'm like, yeah, I like Disneyland. You guys are doing a good job. Thank you so much. I don't know what else to say, but I can host 4 podcasts a week. But I don't know what the hell to say to a bunch of people that like Disney.
Me too.
Right? It was the weirdest thing I've done.
Why is Chris just like...
So I will finish with, as Breanna said, her favorite podcast that she listens to is Sally's. I enjoy listening to Disology. So
okay.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
Disology is really cool. I love the topics they have. Yes. So from all... Jesus.
I take it back. Spider-Man's not my piñata. Chris is.
Oh, damn. All right. We're going to leave it at that. Thank you for joining us this week for the Extra Magic Hour. For Sam, Breanna, Chris, and myself, Shawn, we thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a magical day. Good night, everyone.
Night.